Can you tell where we're at? So, went and picked up one of the kids from school there. He's going to be camera working for me. We're going to go over this thing that I'm doing here with this real quick out at the 5 Dogs range. Again, patterning a shotgun. Very much fun. A lot of excitement this weekend. It's not cool. Let's talk about it.
And I said, Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony and fire 2 blasts outside the house. Buy a shotgun. Buy a shotgun. You don't need a machine gun. You don't need 30 rounds. Buy a shotgun. Buy a double barrel shotgun.
So, finally, at long last, we got these 2.5-inch all brass shotgun shells there for cowboy action shooting. And what I have done, they take a large pistol primer, and I just happen to have a few thousand large pistol primers. What we've done is loaded up 90 grains of black powder and an equal equivalent of copperhead BBs for like 177 BB guns. So what we're going to do today is we're going to put 2 rounds in the gun. We're going to see how it patterns on the first barrel. 1 shot, going to pull both and see how the shell survived being fired next to the right. We're going to see if that stop held. That's just wax. Everybody I saw on YouTube do this says use glue, so I'm going to see if this works first. If not, then I got to go buy a glue gun and some glue sticks, and then we can do more arts and crafts, right? So, no fun. I was out running around yesterday. Went with neighbor Rob. We grabbed breakfast at Donna Case. Great breakfast. Went to Floyd's, one of the local family-owned hardware stores. Got a bunch of stuff for fixing the house up. Faucets and all that stuff, and then came and dropped him off, dropped my junk off, went and bought $80 worth of gas. Here's a picture of the fuel pump. And then I was going to go get the thing washed, the Gringo Viejo pickup truck, and guy in the number 2 lane decided that he needed to be in the McDonald's parking lot right freaking now, and he 2 car lengths in front of me, put all the brakes on, and just ate it. And that's what you're looking at right now. That's what Gringo Viejo looks like right now. And that's a 20-year-old pickup truck. I'm pretty sure the insurance is not going to fix that. So totally that guy's fault. What do you say? Too much Ram, not enough Dodge, right? Anyway, so that's the end of Gringo Viejo, I believe. I don't know. I haven't heard from the insurance adjuster yet. Still rabidly upset about that. But, oh God. Yeah, I don't know for sure what we're going to do about that yet. But, I'm definitely not going to get my time back. I'm definitely not going to get my money back. Hopefully we get something out of it. But time will tell. We'll see what happens. Anyway, that's another fun bit. So yeah, we're out at the range today. I want to check out these shotgun shells. I thought I'd share that with you guys, and we'll see what happens with this right now. So here we go. Like I said, 90 grains of black powder with wad, 90 grain volume equivalent of copperhead BBs. And this is about the distance from my bedroom door to my living room down my hallway. So here we go. First shot.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. So we're going to open that. Come on in.
Flinched.
So we're going to open that, and 1 shot fired. And
Hot.
that's, yeah, hot. That's what it looks like. And this is the shell that I haven't fired yet, and it still looks good. I'm going to set that aside. It looks just like it did, just like these did. There's a little bit of a jiggle there. I'd prefer there wasn't, but you know, the more they move, the more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that one there. I'm going to put it back in the tube, and I'm going to load another one. We're going to see how many rounds we can go through. But before we do that, Safety first, safety last, safety always. Neither one of us
Your protection.
put earplugs in. And believe me, oh, my bell's ringing about it right now. Don't hit stop, just put it down. All right, here's the pattern on that first barrel, guys. Not bad. Like I say, we're using copperhead BBs. I'm going to show you that later, because in this video I'm going to show you how I'm loading these. And very nice pattern. I like that. It's just about, I don't know, minute of bad guy, right? Down the hall. I'll tell you what, for black powder, that's pretty soft shooting. That did not hurt to shoot, and it didn't hurt my ears, even though I don't have earplugs in. So got that. Again, safety first, right? Let's not do that again. Ben, you want to fire one of these?
Yeah.
Yeah? Nice. Very nice. That's not hot either. So again, this is a fresh shell. This is the one that was in there when I fired the first one. Let's go again. Spin. And how are we looking? Okay. The overshot card, the overshot wad has broke loose. So the thing with that is yeah, it's totally loose. If that comes loose down the thing. So, but the thing is with that wax, it held just fine. Now that's the one we're going to fire this time. And this one has not been in the gun yet. So here we go. You want to?
Yeah.
Safety's on, but it's locked and loaded. Let me see that. All right, this has been cracking off too. Not at the same time, hopefully. The recoil's not bad, dude. It's not bad at all. Go ahead. Fire them both if you want. So, and then obviously we're going to save these, because that is an incredibly low power shot for what they are, and they're designed to be able to reload many times with smokeless powder, which is a lot higher pressure. So let's look down the bore and see what we're looking at. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, probably not. It's sooty. Mm-hmm. It is sooty. All right, you gonna lay it down? Let's go check the... Let's go check this out. All right, not bad. Not bad. And I'll tell you what I'm really happy about. Good pattern, both barrels. Very nice. I'm really happy that this happened, because I forgot to say, let's stray a little bit over to this way, which is what I was wanting to do. And, but what we have is we don't have full penetration with that. I think it was this one. I'm not sure. I should have marked it. But anyways, we don't have full penetration back here with that. Only with the buckshot are you going to get that. That's like a heavy, you see how big that hole is. So that's pretty good with copperhead BBs. So I'll tell you guys what we're going to do. That's the 4 that I loaded. I just wanted to make sure it worked. I didn't want to load up 50 of them and then go, well, what the hell, you know. And that didn't work. I got to unload 50 of them. So now what we will do, we're going to wrap it up here. I will catch up with you guys back at the house, and I'll show you what I put together to be able to do this in the field. it's nothing special. There's a dozen YouTube videos out there, guys doing this, but this is what I'm doing, and I think it's cool. You know, you can't get, for you guys wondering, well, why are you doing this, John? You cannot get shotgun shells right now. I just came out to the range. This is the only place I've seen that has shotgun shells available, and today they don't have any, and they've been selling them for $10 plus a box, and that's like a $2 box of shotgun shells. $10. Whoo! I've got enough black powder for my black powder rifle. I can do this. You know, I've got like 2,200, well, minus 4. I've got like 2,200 large pistol primers, and about half of them are Magnum, so we're gonna have to try that too. I want to see how that works. That's gonna give you a little bit more punch to ignite that powder. It'll increase the ballistic value here. So anyway, wrap this up. Quit blabbing, John. I'll catch up with you guys back at the house and show you what's going on. All right, guys, we're back at the house. You saw all the shooting. Sebastian.
Hi, guys.
This is our neighborhood. Come on in.
Hi,
This is our
guys.
neighborhood baseball player here. This is his little brother.
Hi.
Tell me your name.
Andres.
Andres. Say hi to YouTube.
Hi.
Hi, YouTube. These guys are hanging out a little bit, but they're getting ready to go to baseball practice, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. Go win. If you learn something, you won, right? Very cool. Juju, you gonna say hi? Come here. Come here. Nah, this is cool. You'll like this. You can watch it later. Your dad will see it, so say hi to your dad. He's out at work. He's gonna watch it. Come over here, right here. No, right over here, baby. It's okay. No, all right. You don't have to, sweetie. You wanna say hi, Daddy? She doesn't want to do it. She's gonna be obnoxious. I don't think she'll let you. That's some of the neighborhood kids. They're out here whenever we're doing the. They're out here with all the other kids. Neighbor Tyler has a couple kids their age-ish. They're out here whenever we're doing neighborhood watch meetings, which means, you know, neighborhood barbecue. So, and their mom said they could say hi to YouTube. And I would imagine they meant hi, Dad, too, because I know Dad might watch this later. So, but though. All right, so back to work. As you saw there, they shot good. I'm happy with that. I'm super stoked. They shot really well. The pattern was great. I'll tell you what, that Stoker shotgun, I think I paid $390 for that. 400, right at 400. Brand new. That's what they go for. You can get a Stoker shotgun and over and under, like the Condor. Not the Condor Tactical, but the Outback. The Condor Outback is an over-under 20-inch barrel. It's the same length as the one I've got, but it's over-under, and it's got blade rifle sights front and back. I'll try to roll a picture in here if I can. But anyway, that's a cool gun, and that's the one, honestly, that I would have if I were just going to have like one gun, because you can get the 10-inch sleeves that are rifled, chambered, for just about anything. You can get this, there's one company that makes it, it's a package of like 10 or 20 of them. They come in 20 gauge, 410, 22 long rifle, 9mm, 38 special, 357, 44 Magnum, and then 223. It comes in all these different rifle cartridges, and the thing is if you set that blade front, that blade sight system, rifle system up on that shotgun, and you zero it for the one you're going to carry, you've got 10 inches of rifle barrel inside of a 20-inch barrel. I'm not saying it's a silencer, because it really technically it isn't, but I'll bet all the sound from that goes in one direction, and now you've got a 12 gauge that you can sight those rifle sights in, you know, for whatever the other tube is you're carrying. So I think that's really cool. I think that would be that Stoger Condor Outback. I think would be just the bee's knees. The cats. Anyway. So, a bunch of years ago, I watched on YouTube. I watched Dave Canterbury, and if you don't know who that is, I'm amazed. Go watch his channel. He's got some amazing stuff out. It's all wilderness survival things, you know. And what I like about his channel is you got blacksmithing, you've got bushcrafting in the woods, you've got basic camp skills for. I only brought a little bit of fire starting stuff and a knife, you know. He teaches classes on how to go. I don't know if they're good. I haven't been to them, but they look really good. If I had the money to go do it and I were closer, I would want to go do that. I really think that's interesting. One of the videos he did that really caught my attention was he came out with a little plug that goes in the back of a 12 gauge barrel for like a single shot break open 12 gauge. And that had an O-ring on it. And what it is you could stick a shotgun primer in there and it would just snug in with your thumb. Once you fired it, it would just pick out with your. What's the point of that? Well, it's just the base basically, right? Once you put the primer in, you close that, you can muzzle load that shotgun. I thought, that's cool, what a great idea. You know, like a survival thing, right? That's so cool. But I'm sitting there as I'm thinking about it, why wouldn't you want like a, God, it's too bad they don't make full brass shotgun shells. You could just load these up in advance and then just stick them in there and shoot them. And if you're gonna muzzle load, right, you can muzzle load these out in the field and have them ready to go. Well, apparently I wasn't too far off in my thinking there. My thinking meat ain't entirely broke-to-did. A bunch of other people thought that too, and they probably thought it before he brought it up. It's just he's the one that brought it to my attention. And I was like, that's a great idea, because it didn't take me long to find these, right? But I never found a need for them, because shotgun shells are like $2.50 for a box of 25. That's nothing. You can go buy 100 rounds. If you've ever shot a 12 gauge shotgun, you know you don't want to shoot 100 rounds of 12 gauge. You might shoot 20, 30, 50 rounds at the most. I mean, back when I was 18, yeah, 12 gauge shotgun was my first firearm that I bought myself. Winchester 1300 Defender, first one I ever bought, and I liked that thing, and it was a lot of fun. Oh man, we had so much fun with that. We ran that thing so fast. We shot with an 18-inch barrel. We shot birds, clays. I put a pistol grip on the stupid thing. It looked like hell, but I did it. I eventually put the wood back on it. I traded it off. I ended up getting it back. Great gun. I still have it. So anyway, the thing is shotgun shells are cheap. They're plentiful. They're everywhere. It's like, it's harder to find walnuts here than it is to find shotgun shells. So speaking of hulls, anyway, now not so much. So I remembered this idea. Let's get full-length brass shot shells and let's load those up with stuff, and because of the ammo shortage, and buddy, believe me, it's getting worse and worse and worse, and they're thinking September. Biden just executive order pencil whipped some BS about red flag laws. Unconstitutional, illegal. It's not going to matter because they're getting ready to stack the Supreme Court. So if you piss somebody off that doesn't like you, they can go, we're worried that he's going to kill me. And the cops can come and just take everything you've got. You've got to prove to them that you're innocent, not the other way around. I don't agree with that. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's antithetical to how we're supposed to be here. So, you were supposed to be innocent until 12 of your peers decide, no, you're not innocent, you're guilty of this. Guilty of what? A crime you've already committed, not one we think you might commit. That ain't right. But anyway, people are going nuts. Democrats are buying guns like left and right. All of a sudden, they're not anti-gun. They're anti-you having a gun. So anyway, talking about all this, I'm kind of thinking from California, should I really be showing you gun stuff? Maybe I should delete all my gun videos, because, hell. We're not all tactical. We're just, you just saw a side-by-side shotgun. I mean, it wasn't tactical about that. There's no threat level. It's just going to the range and goofing off. I tell you what, when you see what we put in this, it's totally legal to hunt with these in California. It's still a firearm, even though we're using black powder. You saw that smoke. Even though we're using black powder, it's still a firearm, but in California, you can't have any lead in the projectile, and these are lead-free primers. It's lead-free black powder, right? And you know, wait till you see what we used for shot. But you saw the patterns, and I think that's just fantastic. So anyway, enough of me blowing hard. Let me tilt you down here and show you what I got going on. This is still kind of a work in progress. It's something I'm working on. I think it's almost there. This is cool. I'm stoked. And we'll go over some of the things that you ought to know about it. I got to go in and disassemble that 12 gauge now, and soapy water, hot soapy water, clean that. That's going to be a big deal, getting that properly cleaned. Black powder will eat your gun up. So if you're going to black powder it, you know, that's something you want to be thinking about. You're going to have to be able to clean the gun. It's not quite as bad as a Mosin Nagant, guys, but it's not good to leave it set either. So anyway, let me tilt you down. Let me show you what I got going on. There's, like I said, 100 other YouTube videos on this. If you don't want to watch this part, I don't blame you. There's guys that are probably saying it better than me. So have a good one. I'll catch you on the next one. But if you want to hang out, check this out. This is what I am doing so far. And we'll see how it goes. Let's check it out. All right, guys, before I get too much further, quick little clip here. I've got all the big things of powder moved aside. This is 3F or FFG. Get this out of here. GoX. This is actual black powder. So I'm gonna move these back. We need them away from us. All the tools that do them, everything. Okay, very good. So black powder smells fantastic when it burns. Those clouds that we were, you know, huffing around there, oh, fantastic. This stuff is extremely flammable, and what I'm going to do right here is going to kind of go to a point later. You need to really be careful with what you're doing with open flames and stuff. So let the demonstration begin. Ah, come on. Why you do this to me? What? There we go. Good God. And that blew the other two matchsticks all over the place. So important thing is we're going to be dealing with that later, and it's really important that way over here we don't have this stuff laying around with that. Okay, so here we go. This is Powderhorn. The 4 shells that you just saw us put off, the powder came out of here. This powder has been in here for, I think, 4 years. This is sealed. As you can see, there's an O-ring there. This is pretty sealed, but this is an actual animal horn, right? And a wood plug that is pinned in place. So how well that's done, I don't know. Oh, that does spin out. We were looking at that the other night and we couldn't figure it out. And this thing does not want to come off of there. But now I know how to get that out. This thing's on here. I need to supple this leather up. It needs oil treatment, and it's going to get that. This unscrews from there. That's how we got that. I knew it was something to do with that. It's been a while, but that's how you put that in. Too cool. That is just threaded with a straight wall thread, and that is really not all that impressive, to be honest, as far as sealing. So that powder has been not quite exposed to the elements all that time, but it isn't exactly sealed off either. I'll tell you something I'll be doing is I noticed behind that thread there is a groove, and I have an O-ring kit on the truck that actually belongs to me. I carry it around for my convenience. I bought it, oh man, it was like 12 bucks. I'll show you that in another video sometime. But anyway, I carry that around to make my life easy. Sometimes I'm able to get something running for somebody without charging them an arm and a leg, and that's really cool. Free O-rings are always free O-rings. Yeah, you got to pay the labor, but you know, sometimes I know right where to tap the engine, make it run again. So that's the horn. That's got the powder. We'll get into that in a second. This is my rifle. This is my rifle possibles bag. So I tried it with wrapped leather mallet. Didn't work so good. This got a little bit of weight behind it. Play with that. I just stole this out of one of my toolboxes. That's going in this kit now because it works. Huh? What did Colonel Cooper say? If you're not cheating, your tactics suck. We'll get to that. This is just some scrap wood that was laying around. Rounded the edges, drilled a hole in it. We'll see why in a second. What else we got? We've got our wads and our overshot papers. Very cool. A couple of candles. Box of primers. So I could literally do what we're about to do anywhere. Of course, we've got the powder, right? And today's soup du jour is, believe it or not, .177 BBs. Copperheads. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Talk about easy. Talk about easy. So we're gonna do step one on one of these. You can see that I've done it already here. That's how I know that tool I just stole out of my toolbox works. I did that one. You can see too that there's kind of crud in there. The stuff doesn't seal up tight, guys. So the reason for the hole, we're gonna line that up with that, and I need to come up with a better way to line it up than eyeball. This is gonna go in the primer pocket. I will try to roll a picture in of that. And then we're just gonna go, boop. There you go. There's the primer, already discharged, right? That's junk. You can save that. You want to save that. There's a mixture of goo. If you save this little bit, this is the anvil, and that little cup is the primer. You can put this back together and make it work again, believe it or not. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm already a little bit in over my head here. All right, the only thing left is to load that dude up. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you're out in the field, you need to reuse these. Say you only take, 10 of these with you, and you're going to reload them. You can just go ahead and reload them. This does go back into the shotgun. I should have showed you that earlier. I am not going to go get the shotgun out here in the front and show you here, because people will. These do go in. The black powder is so low pressure and so slow burning compared to modern powders. You saw how that flash went up, right? But these have not expanded at all. They slide right in and out. The single break that I have, they slide right in and out. They're fine. So you can go ahead and reuse these right away. if you're out hunting and you use your shot and you've got, you know, say you've got only 4 shells and you get 4 birds, or you get 2 birds and a couple of misses, right? You can go ahead and sit down on a tree stump or a log in the forest and you can go ahead and do this. So, but I want to clean these because I really want these to last. The idea for me is that you can't buy shotgun shells now. Oh, one of the guys at the range was telling me a guy bought a case of shotgun shells for $250. That's $25 a box, guys, for a $2.50 box of shotgun shells. It's just no. I'm good. I put a little bit of an investment in this, and if I keep these clean and I soap and water them, hot water, and I keep them clean, I do the same with my shotgun, I can keep going. Now, before I go another step further, I'm going to show you again the Go X. This is black powder, right? This is Pirate X. This is a black powder substitute. It mimics black powder in every way except 2. Number 1, it doesn't smell good. This stuff stinks. Number 2, it doesn't corrode your bore. So if you use this, the measurements are going to stay the same, and you're not going to have to worry about cleaning the way I'm going to have to worry, because I actually used Go X. So that's a thing. Down the road, a little bit of a project. It's going to take a lot more research. You can only have like 1 pound, I think, of black powder, otherwise, because it's considered an explosive. You can only have 1 pound of black powder. You can have as much reloading powder as you want. This stuff is for cowboy loads. They do not publish a shotgun loading for this. So I got a lot of reading to do on this, because I'm hoping to load by volume, and if I can keep doing that with this, I've got like 6 pounds of this. This did not work in something I thought it was going to work in, and I had already ordered, because this was getting kind of hard to get. I had already ordered 6 pounds of it. So if I can work this up, I will share that with you with all of the normal caveats. Don't do what I'm doing. Don't try this at home, all that BS. I'm what you call a professional, Paul Harrell would say. But I'd really like to get this working. So, all right. I'm going to show you what I did with a fresh shell. This does slide in and out of the chamber, no problems. I did not have to size this. I did not have to size this to use it the first time. I didn't have to size those, and I won't have to size them, apparently, on the next go around either. So again, this is one of those things you can just do, and I'm going to try to use just the stuff that's right here. I am going to show you some other stuff though. It's pretty cool. Okay, so here we go. We are going to start with a large pistol primer. Another thing I want to try is I have large Magnum pistol primers. They should be a little bit hotter when they go off, which will give it just a little bit more kick. That's a thing to try down the road here. We're going to set that on that wood, and I'm going to set that shell on there. And it's going to kind of want to stick, but it's not. Now, I've already tried and kind of ruined this. So we're going to do this. I do have a plan to put a little metal plate right here. We're working on that. Where is my dowel? Oh no, I lost my dowel, guys. Hang on. It's a good thing I made a couple of them. Actually, this is the one, because it's kind of waxy on the end. So, a little bit harder than that wood. I'm going to set this here. And I'm gonna hold that right. I'm gonna hold that right there, just in case that primer goes off. I am not, I can push, and it'll get it started a little bit better. You can see that. But you're just gonna give it some love taps. You don't want your face lined up with that, just in case. But everybody I've seen on YouTube doing this has done that, a few times in their video, and you can see how trim that is. It's nice. So that's a primed shell ready to go. I'm going to set that there. show you a little tool I've got from my rifle kit. Is this cool thing. If you're not familiar with these, see how that's empty. What this does is you can go all the way up from 10 grains of black powder, and grains on black powder is by volume, not by weight. So you can go all the way to 120. What I did was 90, okay? And then you lock this in. That's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. That's 80. I did it here. I counted them when I did it too. Believe that. Believe that. So, there we go. 90 grains of black powder in there. Let's do that real quick. I'm going to show you something cool here. And this wasn't my idea, but the way I did it kind of was, and I lost a shell because of it. We're gonna pour that in there. Oh, a little bit of waste. We don't like that. What we don't want to do is get any of that waste into the shell, because that's going to change our thing entirely. I'm going to throw that over there. We'll light that off later. We don't need that in there. Okay, so that scraped off is 90 grains. Now what I did, I measured this several times and I cut it 2 or 3 times with a tubing cutter. And then if you pour this in there, ooh, you will see what it does there. Okay, it just fills it just right. That is a little low, so I'm going to give it a little bit more, just a scooch. Then I'm going to waste a little bit more, right at 90. So I don't see where any stuck in this. You'll see these little flecks are kind of floating around. You got to really be careful of this stuff later. So we're going to take this and we're just going to pour it right into the shell. So this is right around 90 grains of black powder, 3F, okay? Again, it's by volume. So there you go. Let's take that, dump it, throw that out. Oh, come on, John. What you don't want to do is have this just laying open for a long period of time. It gets moisture in there, it's not good. Apparently it's setting for a long time is not that big of a deal. I'm going to set that off to the side, guys. I didn't really need that. I just wanted to show you what I was doing there. That's how I came up with the length of that. It's not an exact science, but the way I understand it, you just almost can't screw this up. And I do mean almost. Okay, so we're going to put a wad, and I'm probably going to be changing up how I do this later. We're going to use that wood dowel that I went and bought and cut to length. Just like that. And there you can see that sitting on top of that powder. Now, my understanding of this, watching a few, more than a few, what they did was, and my favorite, like I said, David Canterbury, he took the same volume equivalent of shot for the same volume equivalent of powder. Now, the thing is with that, that's easy to remember. Anybody can remember that. You can just keep rolling with that. And the really nice thing is you only need the one tool. So let's do this. I'm going to wrap my fingers around that a little bit so that it kind of cups it. And I'm just going to shake a few in there. And what won't stay goes back in a bag or on the ground. Sometimes it goes on the ground. But this is what you just saw out at the range working. And the way I got this shell to work is I just used the wax from the candles to plug that hole. So there you go. You know, that you just pour that in. I'm going to cup that with my hands so that it's easy to pour in, kind of funnel it, right? Copperhead BBs. You can't find shot. There's stuff. You know, there's stuff. And then we're going to take and put these are called an overshot card. And what some guys are saying they do, and I kind of like this. Again, a ramrod, right? We're just muzzle loading a shotgun shell. You get a pause on the hunt, whatever's going on, you can do this. I'm blowing away all the little bits of powder. There's not enough there to hurt us, so I'm not too worried about it. And what I have found is an extra shell. You know what? Just to keep things even, what I ought to do is use the wads twice too and kind of bring it up. But one thing I am going to change up on this, one guy was showing me on YouTube the wool blankets that you use under a horse saddle. You take those blankets and before you go out, you punch them with a punch. And you can make a punch if you have to, but I'm probably going to go buy the right punch for this. You can punch out as much of that as you want, put it in a bag like this. And then even these wads, sorry, I'm not even in frame. Even these wads are good for overshot cards, I'm thinking. Especially the way I'm doing this right now. Now, you saw we were talking that kind of did what it did. I do believe I took all the nope, here they are. Okay. What I'm going to do is let that get a little wet. I am going to keep that flame away from everything else I'm doing. Oh, and Mama's home. With that little bit of wax, I'm just gonna lay it in like this and just drip it in there. And that flame's gonna lick right up. If you see that, it's gonna lick right up there into that wax. Oh, come on. Oh, that's good. I got a good pool in there. Oh, wait, let's do a little more. Nope, it's out. It's kind of breezy out, guys, but there's a good pool in there. Decent pool. I'm going to stick that in, and I'm just going to finger push it, and then I'm going to use my dowel to just crimp it with that second wad and roll it. And I found that once that wax sets up, it's halfway decent. You saw that with me, right? It's halfway decent. We put the 2 shells in there. One of the shells went through 2 firings and kind of survived. I'm gonna say that was actually a fail though. Throw that over there with the other one. Keep that wind off there, right? Thing to do what it's doing. All right. Again, just a little bit of. There we go. And that's it. That's a working shotgun shell, guys. You just saw us shoot those. There's some schmoo on the dowel. There you go. Let me prop you back up. Let's finish this up and talk about that for a second, because I can't believe how happy I am with this. Salute. if you're worried about me playing with black powder and fire while I'm drunk, I've had that much, just enough to lubricate the personality and silk the tongue up a little bit, right? So, one little bag, little Powderhorn, too cool. And, you know, I'm thinking even numbers, obviously, because it's side by side. Or odd numbers, it doesn't matter. 5 or 8, or I mean 5 or 7, or how many you want, it doesn't matter. If you've got a single shot, and those little Walmart sold Hatfields for 99 bucks or whatever they're going for, there you go. You know, you take a few shells into the field with you. That's already good. It isn't even set up yet. And I'm gonna not lie to you about this. These are at Walmart too. They're like 100 of them in a case for, you know, $5 or whatever they are. This is the crappiest wax. When these are brand new and never been lit, you can literally deform the thing just pushing on it. And that's a thumb and forefinger. So that wax is not that great, right? But this is 100 primers, guys. That's 100 primers. You take 6 shells with you out there hunting, and a box of primers, and I would put them in a Ziploc bag or something, not just in there like I did. And that thing there, and you know, especially if you're using Pyrodex, you don't have to clean the gun the same way. Now I'm gonna have to go and disassemble that 12 gauge and pull the wood off of it and everything, and I gotta go through it with hot soapy water, and I do mean clean it. Got wax on my little board. I'm not kidding. I've got about as much time invested in researching this as you guys just watched in this video, and you know, maybe 30 minutes last night cutting that board. I cut 3 of these so the other guys would have them too. I don't think they're ever going to need them or use them, but I cut 3 of these. I need to get a metal piece on there because the primers just push right into the wood, and that's a hard wood too, so, or it's a harder wood. I don't think it's that hard, but anyway, there you go, man. That's shooting in tough times. Watching Life of Boris. I watched one of his Q&As, and he says, oh, it's not Life of something, it's inspired by Life of Brian. That made me so happy. You go, Boris. That made me so happy to hear that. Not Life of something, Life of Pi. Everybody's saying, oh, that's from Life of Pi. He's like, no, it's from Life of Brian. You should go watch Life of Brian. I should go watch Life of Brian. I've seen a ton of clips from it. I've never watched the whole thing. Anyway, end of month cooking. You know, you use what you got in the fridge is what he's showing on his videos, and this is kind of we're not in a full-blown zombie apocalypse or anything, but we're kind of roughing it right now, guys. I'm watching the guys who build their own ammunition in their garage or in their workshop. I'm watching them struggle to find primers, cases, lube, powder, especially primer and powder. They're not finding them. I just happen to have these. I'll tell you what, we had a spot in 08 where this stuff was getting hard to get, and they had them at Valley, and I was like, oh wow, you guys have large pistol primers, and Grandpa was there with me. And he's like, what are you talking about? I go, well, reloading stuff's really hard to get right now. Everybody's having a hard time getting it. He goes, well, do you use that stuff? I go, no, I don't use it. He's like, would you? And I said, I guess I could learn. And he goes, well, give me 1,000. These are from 2008, and they work. They're not sealed up. They've just been sitting on my dresser since the dresser before the one I have now, you know? Or wherever they've been sitting. I think they were in the safe for a while. Apparently they're good forever. That powder's been in that horn forever. There's YouTube videos, guys, if you really want to. They tell you how to make black powder out of raw materials. They tell you how to prep and make the raw materials and then how to make black powder. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. I'll never do that. I don't even want to reload. I don't even want to do this. I really don't. But you can't get this now. So now I can. Now I can go shoot my shotgun if I want. I've got a certificate. It's a free full round of clays, sporting clays. And you saw earlier in the video, that was so soft shoot. It just kind of, you know, it doesn't, boom, it, whoomp. How cool is that? So, all right, that's enough of the BS. Been getting a lot of damn sorry to hear about your truck, and I appreciate the concern on that. This is the first I've shown on YouTube. I just showed you the truck, what, 2 weeks ago? God, it makes me sick. We put 3 months into that thing. Rebuilt the suspension, rebuilt the front end. You know, I bought that truck for $3,900, $4,000, whatever it was. It was $44.99, $99 out the door. License, tags, registration, all that junk. I've put another 5 into it to get that truck ready. And then some idiot just decides he wants to go there right now. Jim Gaffigan's got a skit about that. He's, why would he go there? We'll go down the block and turn around and come back. No, I want to go there now. That's not my favorite way. You know? And that's basically what that guy did. And I'll close the video with a bit of a morality rant, lecture. I don't know what you call this. But people talk about how fastidious the Germans are and Germanic people, and I think they can go a little overboard with it at times. 1938. But anyway, the thing is the rules are there for a reason, and yeah, sometimes you want to bend the rules. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to follow the rules as fastidiously as that. But for the most part, the rules are there for a reason. The laws that we live by, or we're supposed to live by, they are there as an agreement between you and I, that we don't encroach on each other. I don't have a problem with you doing anything you want to do. If you're gay, I still love you. I don't want to see you hurt. If you're black, I still love you. I don't want to see you hurt. If you're Hispanic, if you're anything, if you're trans, any of that stuff, you're a human being. And I get mad and I say some horrible things about everybody, including white people. But if you're any of that stuff, I still love you. I don't want to see you hurt. I want to see the good things for everybody. I want, you know, a rising tide floats all ships, and I want to see everybody rise to the top. I want to see everybody do well. If you're an asshole, I hate you. You know? And I say stuff online like, well, if you're wearing a mask, God hates you, and so do I. Well, God doesn't hate you, and neither do I. Not really. But I am angry. I'm furious with what you're doing. We need to stand up for ourselves. This social contract that we have is very important. It's most important, right? We got to follow the laws. We got to follow the rules. But the laws that we've got going on now are not legal laws. They don't go to the core of our laws. Lex Ray. The law is king in this nation. That's how it is. And when they pass a law that says, oh, this, that, and the other, and it's in conflict with the Second Amendment or the Fourth Amendment or the First Amendment, those laws are illegal. They're unjust, and they're not right. And as citizens sitting on panels of 12, judging each other, we need to keep that in mind. As far as I'm going to go with that. But when you're out and about, you want to try to not be in the intersection when the light is red. It's not cool. It's not cool. You especially should not run a red light when you are coming up to that crosswalk and it's already red. Just because you're the last car in a line of cars that went through yellow, you're still running that light. And yeah, you saved yourself a minute and a half or whatever you saved yourself, but you took that minute and a half away from the 10 seconds that you took away from the 20 people in line sitting there looking at their green light. sitting there looking at their green light, wishing you weren't in their way. You stole that from them. You're a thief. And if you don't understand that already, you're lying to yourself. So you're a liar and a thief. The laws, the rules that we live by, that we have, they're there not just to ensure safety. Safety isn't the ultimate. It's that we don't encroach on each other, that we don't steal from each other. Time, effort, all that. Gringo Viejo died. I know my insurance is a 20-year-old pickup truck. My insurance is not going to do anything with that. I have a perfect driving record. I have 2 speeding tickets over the last 8 years. Both of them are off the record because legally you can go to class and go, okay, that's not on my record. I broke the rules both times I was speeding, you know. It's not cool. Straight up. I'm not preaching at you from a point of righteousness here. I screw up too. Sometimes I find myself in the intersection when the light's red. But cutting over 2 or 3 lanes, cutting out into traffic, that kind of stuff, not only is it dangerous, but it violates the civil contract that we all have with each other. And as a people, and I'm not talking about gay, trans, black, Hispanic, white, I'm not talking about that. Americans. As a people, we all need to stick with those rules and understand that we are engaged in a social contract so that we are not violating, harming, or wronging each other. It's not about the man. It's about what I'm doing to you. It's about what you're doing to me. So, that's the end of that. I quit bitching and preaching and crying and moaning. I'm still absolutely rabidly foaming at the mouth and enraged that guy pulled that. As I was putting my brakes on and trying to not hit him, as I was putting the brakes on and trying to not hit him, I was locked on that steering wheel muscle tension lock, not joint lock, right? And why would you do that? You know, and bam. The thing that's really sad is I was in the car alone. He had half his family in that car with him. He had a baby girl, dogs. This is a siren. Hurts their ears. Yeah, he had his daughter, looked like mid to late 20s, I don't know. Had his granddaughter in a car seat on the side that got smacked. You know, good Lord. I mean, thank God the baby wasn't hurt. And I know I said some pretty harsh things right after, in my mind. They weren't nice, they weren't pleasant, they were pretty horrible. But I don't really feel that way. It's just I was getting angry, you know. The thing is I'm thank God that little kid didn't get hurt, you know what I mean? Anyway. Yeah, we gotta follow the rules, guys. So, alright, quit bitching about that. Shut up, John. So, black powder shotgun shells, and you can too. Drive safe. Look out for your fellow man in the little ways, not just the big ways. Like, oh my God, it's coming right at me, right? Yeah, look out for the people around you, and even if you're alone and nobody sees it, do the right thing. It's no skin off your nose, man. Is that way easier? Yeah. It's not cutting corners until the result is different, you know? But, yeah, even when you're alone, do the right thing. Anyway. Bam! Too cool. Shotgun video. A little bit of a rant. Sorry about that, guys. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, God, I hope it's going good for you. I hope things are well. And I hope you're prospering in everything you endeavor. You guys have a good one. I'll catch you on the next one. Was it cool?
Yeah.
Soft, huh?
Yeah.
Is that not the softest 12 gauge you've ever fired? Huh?
I think so.
Yeah, me too. Sweet. All right, guys, here we go.